Hey friends, it's been a minute. Rabbi Jenny Solomon here with a Mincha moment. Been away for a couple of weeks on vacation, and now back to work. And so a Mincha moment feels more important than ever for all of us to take a moment to learn a little Torah, to take a moment to breathe, to get some perspective, and just to step back so that when we step in once again, we have the spiritual perspective and strength and vision that we need. So this week in the Torah, we actually begin a new book. Who doesn't love to start a new book? It might be a book that we've actually encountered many times, in this case, the book of Shemot, of Exodus. But it is a new book to us as we are new, as we encounter it again this year. And of course, the opening chapters of the book of the Exodus really detail the dramatic story that, of course, has been made into books and movies and is a centerpiece of the Passover story, is really the central narrative of Passover. But there is something that I love so much about this particular Torah portion, in that it really highlights some amazing women exemplars. Women who act with civil disobedience against Pharaoh. Women who are just incredibly courageous and have that quality of ometz lev that we talk about in Musar, that courageous heart to do difficult things. And there's one woman in particular that I want to highlight. Of course, we know Shifra and Pua, the Hebrew midwives, or the Egyptian midwives, depending on how we read the text, but the midwives who continue to let the children of the Israelite women live. But I really want to highlight in particular Pharaoh's daughter. So you may remember this part of the story where Pharaoh's daughter goes to the Nile River and extracts baby Moses in his basket that his mother Yocheved, with the help of his sister Miriam, places in the Nile to spare his life. And then the daughter of Pharaoh rescues him and eventually takes him into the palace. And there is a line that describes how she took him out. And it's a little bit ambiguous, as the Torah often is. It says, V'tishlach et amata v'tikacheha. And the way that that's typically translated is that she sent for her amma, her servant, and her servant took the baby out, took the basket out. But an amma, a servant, is also in rabbinic language a way of describing one's arm, one's hand. So an alternative translation is not that the daughter of Pharaoh sent her servant. It's that Pharaoh's daughter actually stretched her own arm out to take baby Moses from the Nile. Reb Mendel, the Kotzker Rebbe, Reb Menachem Mendel of Kotsk, has a sort of riff on this particular translation, which I love. And that is, she must have sensed on some level, let's assume that she stretched her own arm out, that she couldn't with her own arm reach all the way, just imagine standing on the banks of the Nile, reach all the way into the river and safely extract Moshe in his little basket out. But that's actually the way of brave people, of faithful people. So sometimes we look at a situation and we know this actually doesn't actually even make sense. Like, I don't even think this is possible. I'm not sure how I'm going to accomplish this. I'm not sure I'm equipped, physically made to perform this task. But nevertheless, despite that, she reached anyway. And it's that kind of moral courage that I find really inspiring, because there are so many problems in our lives, so many problems in the world in which we could find ourselves saying, I say this personally, like, I don't actually think I can make that happen. I don't even think I could achieve that goal. And so Bat Paro, Pharaoh's daughter, actually models for us that sometimes in those moments, we do it anyway. We reach out our arm far past the point in which we think we can physically extend it. And we're rewarded for our faithfulness, for our courage, with some version of success. So wishing everyone Ometz Lev, courageous hearts, as we go about our lives and try to bring goodness and healing wherever we can. Shalom. Peace.